Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight we're going to be talking about the future of rock and roll. And what better time is there to talk about the future of rock than at the beginning of any given year? Tonight we're going to be talking about former Eagles Don Felder, the rock band Styx, and Kevin Cronin. Doesn't ring a bell? Well, maybe you know him by another name that he had hoped to be touring under this year, and of course I'm talking about REO Speedwagon. All right, so I haven't really talked about REO Speedwagon a whole lot on this channel. I've mentioned them in passing, usually when I've talked about other bands that I consider to be out there touring that kind of toured like them. In other words, bands who were touring with less than their original membership. Now, it's only been days since REO Speedwagon played their very last show as REO Speedwagon. They played the Venetian Theater, about an 1,800-seater theater, and REO Speedwagon, keep this in mind, they make anywhere from $150,000 to $260,000 a show. They paraded their hits for all to see, only to conclude the show with Kevin Cronin saying the following: "I feel sadness that this is the final REO Speedwagon concert, and at the same time, I feel grateful to have been part of this incredible ride. We have all been brothers on this amazing musical journey called REO Speedwagon, and I wish you all nothing but the best." And when I say you, I mean everyone who has been part of this band, part of our crew, and part of the REO Speedwagon fan family. The REO Speedwagon name is being retired tonight. But he doesn't stop there. He says, "But the music, the spirit, the songs of REO Speedwagon will live on with this band and with me under the name Kevin Cronin. We hope that you will join us on that adventure, and now let's roll with the changes. What do you say?" Now, I can tell you, Kevin's not exactly excited about touring under his own name. He would much rather be able to tour under the band, brand name of REO Speedwagon, but because the other two partners have put a kibosh on that, he is now looking forward to touring with who? The very same band that he was touring with under the REO Speedwagon name. Now think about that. I've been saying for years that the band Foreigner shouldn't be out there touring. And now, with Lou Gramm announcing his last show, there's not a single member on that band that belongs up there. Almost as bad as Kevin Cronin touring as REO Speedwagon. Just last year, Kevin Cronin was quoted as saying, "The thought of REO Speedwagon coming to an end, it's just unfathomable to me. I'm not ready to call it quits. I feel like I'm surrounded by a great group of guys. The chemistry is great. The music sounds awesome. And I want to keep this band together." Well, what's the matter, Kevin? Sounds like you have kept the band together. Why are you so sad? It's because you couldn't keep the band together under the name REO Speedwagon. You see, rather than just going out on tour as just Kevin Cronin and missing out on that $150,000 to $260,000 paycheck per show, he found a loophole, didn't he? You see, he's announced that he's going on tour with Don Felder, former member of the Eagles, and the rock band Styx. Never mind the fact that Don Felder is without his band, and the rock band Styx may have the name still, but they're shy of their main songwriter and lead singer for many of their songs. I mean, you almost need a program to keep up with who was in what band, when, where, why, and how. But you know what? We've seen this before. We used to call these oldies shows, Only today, with the popularity of classic rock, they can't get on the airwaves these days with new material, but the old 60s and 70s, maybe 80s, and perhaps some of the 90s soundtrack is still popular, and they sell well at concerts. But when I was a young man, you'd be seeing bands like the OJs touring with, one member left, and they'd be out touring anything from very small theaters to fairgrounds. Now, I had a chance to see REO Speedwagon, I think it was 2 summers ago, and I looked into them. I liked some of their hits, and I found out they didn't have anybody but Kevin Cronin up there, and I had no interest whatsoever from that point on, and the tickets weren't that much. You see, except for by hardcore REO Speedwagon fans, Kevin Cronin isn't a household name. Don Felder, however, is a bit of a household name. He was with one of the biggest bands on planet Earth and has continued to make headlines under his name from time to time over the last couple of decades. Of course, Styx still has Tommy Shaw, but they don't have Dennis DeYoung, and for the life of me, I don't know why that band doesn't kiss and make up. If Styx reformed with Dennis DeYoung, they wouldn't need Don Felder or Kevin Cronin. They could make it on their own. But what do we have here? We have 3 acts that aren't quite what they used to be. In other words, they have to team up in the hope of even beginning to sell the kind of tickets and command the kind of money that they once did. Now, I like REO Speedwagon well enough, but really, that band's been dead for years. The Eagles kicked out Don Felder so long ago, it's almost considered ancient history, and the same goes for the rock band Styx. It's been since the 90s that band has been whole. So here's my question to the tribe, folks. In the year 2025, do you plan to go see anybody live? If you are you going to see as many concerts as you have in years past? And if you do go see some concerts, will those concerts include these types of concerts where you have 2, 3, maybe 4 acts to make up for the lack of punch that a big band could deliver? Styx have even put out some decent albums, but they're nowhere near the band that most fans fell in love with. And I love Don Felder. He's my favorite Eagle out of all of them, but he's wingless at this point, and so is Kevin Cronin. And here's a bonus part to that question. I can guarantee you prices are going to go up this year. Times are tight. Does that have anything to do whether you will be paying to go see concerts as usual, or are you going to be cutting back a bit, not see quite as many artists? Or are you one of the fastly growing fan base that's just had it? It's almost not worth it. Unless it's a major act, they don't go at all anymore. All right, that's the video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That helps not only with views, but with channel growth. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you will be notified of all my future videos. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line. The bottom line, as I see it, as always, the bottom line changes after a couple of days for each video because you guys start commenting, right? And when you do that, you know what you do? You show everybody that we are the tribe.